And we are back with another Premier League predictions video. It is the Boxing Day predictions video after a week that unfortunately has been again dominated by the pandemic. But we did have ourselves a little bit of fun in the Carabao Cup this week. Arsenal's youngsters putting in a fantastic performance to get a 5-1 win against Sunderland. Chelsea's reserves getting a well-needed good result for Thomas Tuchel away at Brentford. Tottenham continuing their form after a good display against Liverpool, getting the win against a very good West Ham team. And finally, and most disappointingly for me as a Manchester United fan that never wants to see Liverpool do well, we had the drama at Anfield with a 95th minute equaliser from Minamino and Liverpool then winning on penalties, which is a really good result for them considering they pretty much played a reserve/youth team and Leicester played their full first team. So fair play to Liverpool for getting that 3-3 then win on penalties and they go through to the semi-finals. But we're not here to talk about the Carabao Cup. We are here to talk about the Premier League. So we will go through our usual format. We'll have a look at the few Game Week 18 fixtures that went ahead before looking ahead to our Boxing Day predictions. Drop a like if you are enjoying this series. Let's get into Game Week 18's results. And here are the fixtures. As you can see, only 4 went ahead in the end, and these were the results. You'll see a common theme across all 4 of my predictions, and that is that I was wrong by 1 goal on all 4. So, not a lot of complaints. I mean, I think from a Leeds perspective, if we still go through them in order, they're going to be very happy that the Liverpool game's been called off. 7-0 to City, then 4-1 to Arsenal. They just look absolutely all over the place at the moment, and I would have really feared for them going into a game at Anfield after that. So I think they'll be grateful for that. 1 point for me there. I definitely bottled predicting 0-0 for Wolves and Chelsea. I've said on many occasions I don't like predicting a 0-0, but it did seem like the most logical result for that game. I just thought maybe Wolves might be able to nick something from a set piece. So a little bit annoyed at myself for that one. No points for me there. Newcastle and Man City. Newcastle just made some sloppy mistakes. I thought they played really well, same as they did against Liverpool, but unfortunately a couple of decisions went against them, particularly a penalty incident that didn't go their way. But yeah, some sloppy defending created a couple of goals that City would have snapped your hand off for at kickoff, and it ended up being 4-0 when I predicted 3-0, so 1 point there. And then Tottenham and Liverpool, of course, we didn't really know what sort of form Tottenham would be going in to this game. I said Antonio Conte would be coming with a plan after having 2.5 weeks off, and he certainly did. And if we're all being honest, it probably should have been a 4 or 5-2 Tottenham win. Alisson making some fantastic saves, Kane and Son missing some relatively simple chances. And overall, it was a really, really fun game to watch. Yes, we do have the controversy over the red card that wasn't for Harry Kane, and I'm kind of glad from a footballing spectacle that wasn't given as a red card, because it would have been a completely different game if it was. But a really, really good watch and a good advert for the Premier League, especially considering how few games did end up going ahead. But overall, for the prediction, no points there. And like I said, 1 goal off on all 4 predictions, which means we get a game week score of 2 and a season score so far of 110. Don't forget to let me know down in the comments how you get on week, and if you have been playing along every week, let me know your season score as well. Let's get into those Boxing Day predictions. So here are the games. It is game week 19, but it is also the first repeat game week. This is the reverse fixtures from game week 4. I don't know why they do this every year. They always put 1 repeat game week in before the final game week, which makes no sense. This is game week 19. It is the midway point of the season after these games conclude, but they always seem to shove in a reverse game week before doing the final original game week. But whatever. We start with, well, we should have started with Liverpool, Leeds and Wolves, Watford. Both would have been 12:30 kickoffs on Boxing Day. However, both fixtures have subsequently been postponed due to COVID. But Not to get too much into the politics of it, I do think it is a little bit suspicious that the 2 games that would have required the 4 teams to cut their Christmas Day celebrations short have been called off. All the other teams will be able to spend the fullity of Christmas Day with their families before getting ready for a 3 o'clock or 5:30 kickoff. But who am I to argue with positive COVID tests and isolation rules? Just saying that Liverpool did play the other night and Wolves are apparently COVID clean, so it has to all be from Leeds and Watford side. Anyway, moving on to the actual fixtures that are going ahead, starting with 7 games on Boxing Day. And we start with Burnley and Everton. Now, the reverse fixture in Game Week 4 saw Everton get a 3-1 win. However, since then, the fortune of their team has not gone very well. And I am going to reflect that in my prediction. I am going to make this the 2-2 prediction for this week. Maybe a little bit controversial because Burnley obviously do have a good defensive record, but I think this game will be very open. I think Burnley will be looking to capitalise on Everton's poor form. I can see them thinking they can get the result here, but at the same time I can then see Everton getting a few counters in and getting some goals for themselves. So I'm going to go for 2-2 there. Man City and Leicester, sorry, not Leeds. I said at the predictions for this originally that these are either incredibly high-scoring games or incredibly low-scoring, tight games. It did end up being 1-0 Man City in the reverse fixture. And I'm going to go for 2-1 this time. Yeah, I can see this being really tight. I think despite how well City have been playing, they always do seem to struggle against Leicester, and I think they're going to be a little bit more defensive-minded with that said. So I'm going to go for 2-1. I can see Leicester nicking something. Well, only a goal. I can't see them nicking a result, but I can see them nicking a goal off of Man City. On to Norwich and Arsenal. This was Arsenal's first points of the season back in Game Week 4 after 3 back-to-back defeats and everyone questioning Arteta's future and the whole future of the club, and look at them now playing some amazing stuff. The youngsters in Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Martinelli, all playing some of the, well, probably arguably the best football of their career so far, and Arsenal are doing really well, and I think that's going to reflect in the result against Norwich this week. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Arsenal, and I don't really think there's anything more to say to that. I just don't see Norwich getting anything out of this game the way Arsenal are playing right now. On to Spurs and Crystal Palace. A fixture that saw the home side get a 3-0 win first time out, and I'm going to back the home side to get a 3-0 win this time as well. Like I said, Conte has got Tottenham playing the way that he likes teams to play. I think they looked incredibly dangerous against Liverpool. Yes, they had a game plan, but I'm sure they'll go out in the same sort of manner here. They will be aggressive. They'll look for counter-attacks when Palace pile their players forward. I can see Palace being very defensive in this game. They too tend to go for it when they're at home and be a lot more defensive, counter-attacking when they're away, but I think Tottenham should have far too much quality for Crystal Palace, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 Spurs win. On to West Ham and Southampton. A fixture that finished 0-0 at St Mary's, but I can only see this being a West Ham win. Yes, they just lost in the Carabao Cup, but it was to a very good Spurs team. I'm going to give this one as a 2-0 West Ham win. I would have gone for more, but it looks like Antonio's not going to be available due to COVID, so they're going to be without the recognised striker, but I still think they'll have the quality to break down Southampton, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 West Ham win. Aston Villa and Chelsea is a very, very difficult one to call. It was a thoroughly entertaining fixture last time around. I remember Aston Villa feeling very hard done by that they lost 3-0 because it was very much 3 smash and grab goals. I remember Lukaku scoring a fantastic finish top corner to make that 3-0. And I think they'll be full of confidence the way they've been playing recently and the way Chelsea have been playing recently. That said, I'm not quite confident enough to give this one to Aston Villa. I am going to go 1-1 for this one, but I can see Villa winning this. I really can, but I can't back against Chelsea. I'm still not confident enough to fully back against Chelsea, even though I did do them to lose to Wolves last week. I just think they will get something out of this game. On to Brighton and Brentford, a fixture that finished 1-0 to Brighton last time out, part of my string of Brighton results that I couldn't call correctly. The game itself was kind of about Brentford's bombardment against Brighton's solid defence, and then Brighton just nicked a goal. And I'm actually going to go for the same again. I'm going to go for Brighton to nick it again. I think the way Brentford play suits the way Brighton defend. So, barring a big mistake from Brighton, I don't see Brentford scoring. And I can see Brighton nicking a goal. Am I bottling the 0-0 again? Absolutely. Because I can completely see this being 0-0. But I'm going to go for Brighton nicking it. And finally, we have the only fixture taking place not on Boxing Day. We have a Monday night football between Newcastle and Manchester United. The reverse fixture, everyone will remember for Cristiano Ronaldo's second debut at Man United, where he ran riot in a 4-1 win. Now, however, I think we're going to have a much tighter game. I'm not going to back against my club. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised in that. I'm going to go for 2-1. I can definitely see Newcastle making a goal. Like I said, I think they played really well against Man City and Liverpool. They just gave away sloppy goals, and when you play against world-class players and you make mistakes, you get punished. And I can see that same sort of thing happening again. It looks like Manchester United are going to have a full squad available to them. So if you're going to have Ronaldo and Sancho and Bruno and all that lot buzzing around, Newcastle can't afford to make mistakes or they'll lose this game. So yeah, 2-1 to Manchester United will be my final prediction before Christmas, and that will conclude this week's video. Do not forget to comment down below with your own predictions. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you on the morning of the 28th, where Game Week 20 will be put straight into motion. I will see you then. Thank you very much.